everyone, and welcome to my review of Jujutsu Kaisen episode 9. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be the review only, but if you're watching this live with me on Twitch or later on Patreon, then that means that you get to see the reaction with me. The reason, as I say every week, the reason I'm not posting my reactions to YouTube is because my first two videos got blocked and I had to cut out the reaction part. So yeah, I didn't want to spend time every week editing or paying someone to edit if they're just gonna get blocked in a day or two. But anyway, I'm going to get started with today's episode right away. I'm pretty excited. There's about, right now in the live chat, or on Twitch, there's 182 viewers. And in the live chat, we have Sotos, Matty, Adam, JSD, Vasilij, Hunter, Somir, Michael, I think, is here. I wrote some notes about a specific moment, but if you have your notepad, I probably didn't need to. We'll see. We'll see. Dark Shadow is here. Did I say Tiago? Did I say Mike? Did I say Matty? I hope I said everyone. Cherry is here. And I have my notebooks, so I'm going to make notes throughout the episode here and there if there's something I want to talk about in the review. Last but not least, before we get started, I have this, which is rosé mixed with something called hooch. And I don't know what it's going to taste like, and I don't know if it's going to make me throw up. And if it does, and it happens on screen, I apologize. But my friend brought me the rosé, so I really want to drink it because I'm grateful. But if anyone else ever comes to visit me, thank you for subscribing, Tort. If anyone else ever comes to visit me and thinks about bringing alcohol, I like vodka and vodka. Okay, let us go. I'm very excited. Oh, you guys can't see. If you're watching this on YouTube, here comes the review. But before we get into the actual review, I will begin by telling you another New Girl story. Because I watched the series New Girl. New Girl. And you see, this actually happened yesterday where I watched this episode. And it's relevant to the Jujutsu stroll at the end with Gojo and Night Eye-kun. I don't know, the guy reminds me of Night Eye. But he has overall's voice actor. So anyway. Over Eye. Night Hole. Anyway. There's this episode where There's this episode where in New Girl, in the beginning, the guys are together, like the guys in the show, and they're talking about the girls' boobs. And they're basically ruling girls out based on the size of their boobs, based on their preference, the size and the type of boobs. I don't know. Sorry. And then there's too much gas in this mixed drink. Ugh. And then the camera pans a bit to the right, and then Jace has been there the whole time, and she's like, you guys are so superficial. And then I think basically they're telling her that you're superficial too, like everyone's superficial. And she's like, no, it's not about how a person looks, you should care about what's on the inside, and blah blah blah. And then she like leaves in a huff. And she goes just to sit in a random booth. And she's like, I'm sorry, I know this is your booth, but I'm just really annoyed with my friends right now. And then she looks at the person in the booth, and it's like this, according to her, I guess, super attractive guy. But I don't know. The guy has a douchebag face. So I don't know, but according to her, he's super attractive. And he has like, you can see that even his teeth has been like recently whitened, and he's just super tan, and he has this little beanie. It just makes him look like a douchebag, and everything about him just makes him look like a douchebag. But apparently she thinks he's super hot. And then she talks to him about how her friends are annoying and why they're annoying, and then he's like, you want to go on a date? Eventually he asks her on a date and she's like, yes. And then he says, while we're on the subject of physical appearance, I should probably tell you I have a micro penis. And at this point, I don't think to Google it. But then, later in the episode, Nick and Winston and Coach and I think one more person, Schmidt, they're all sitting around a PC, like a laptop, and they're looking at, obviously they've Googled micropenis. And then they start like explaining what it looks like using examples like, it looks like a little eye floating in a bowl of soup. Or something. I don't know how they explained it. And then I got curious. So I Googled micropenis. And the penis that Goat Joe drew on that little card looked like a micropenis. And that is the end of my story. Anyway, Soto says, I was once slapped in the face by a girl with 12 nipples. Sounds weird, doesn't it? That is a bad joke, Soto. It's a terrible joke, but thank you for sharing it. It's the actor who played that on Thad on Blue Mountain Stage. Oh, that's the actor? I don't know, but in the show, they made him look like a douchebag. And then in the end, it turns out she wants to dump him, but not because of his micropenis, because his personality is just batshit awful. So, yes, I Googled it and I saw a micropenis. And apparently having a micropenis turned him into a douchebag because, you know, that was his reaction to always being teased. But anyway, let's talk about the actual episode and not about the micropenis that Goat Joe drew. The first thing I wanted to say was, I hate that teacher for looking out the window and seeing that Junpei, is his name Junpei? Seeing that kid being bullied, like not even just bullied. Like bullied sounds like, oh, they're mean to you. But that kid was being physically assaulted. Heavily physically assaulted. Not just pushed around, that kid was being beaten up. And that teacher just fucking continued walking. Like, that teacher should lose their job. Like, fuck you, you fat bastard. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. But, on a lighter note, I would like to recommend a show to everyone that, spoiler alert, handles this topic of what we saw here, the general topic, not like physical assault, but the general topic of it and the teacher's role in it. It handles it very interestingly. And I'm going to put up my hand so that I can say the name of the show if you want to take a look at it. And then after I put my hand down, you'll know I stopped talking. I'm gonna cover my mouth so you can't even see what I'm saying, okay? I'm sorry for the spoiler earlier. I'm trying to be more spoiler conscious. So put down the noise. And then when mute me, and then when I take down my hand, you can listen again, okay? So, the show that I think you should watch if you want to see bullying and the topic thereof handled really well and interestingly very good, and I don't even know if things kind of get resolved, but the whole process is just very interesting. You can watch Sangatsu, but in particular, season 2 of it deals with this particular theme, okay? So, how do you recommend an anime if it's muted? Well, they have to choose. Do they want to know? Because I'm recommending the anime based on a specific theme, so that spoils something in the anime. And then, you know, if they don't want to know, then they can mute me. But now if you want the recommendation, you're going to know something. You're going to know this happens in the show. So I'm trying to read my earlier message. I don't know, just repost it. Well, Matty spoiled it in the live chat anyway, so whatever. Theory, Gojo is good at drawing a micropenis because it is what he is used to seeing. Well, that would make more sense because you can't be that fucking beautiful and also have a big penis, I guess. So I don't know. I will from now on think of Joe as having a micro penis so that I don't get too fangirly. But I mean, I don't really care so much about the penis part. So there's so much more to being physical than having a big penis. It's just my opinion. I'm sorry. Very attacking to tall attractive guy I see. Small details. The green curse is hinted to have been the ticket lady cause of the watch. Ah, thank you. And the white curse is meant to have been a custodian because we saw his clothes tossed aside in the theater. He says cleaning supplies. Okay. Oh, Vert is attacking. Oh, Vert was attacking. Okay. It's not an attack. It's just a theory. Katie doesn't have time for that anyway. Oh, Dark Shadow. If you only knew. I give this episode a 9.4. Not a fan of Gocho's sunglasses. He's still hot though. Audio could be a bit better. 9 for audio. But when you say audio, what are you referring to? Voice acting? OST? Sound effects? You can't just say audio. I want to know specifically. What do you think with regard to the audio could have been better? I wrote notes about Nanami's powers, just in case it wasn't fully clear to anyone, but I'm not sure if you really need it. I will see. The mangaka has stated that Gojo is perfect in every way, so technically his penis is ... average sized? That's probably the perfect penis. Just an average sized penis. Michael, the perfect penis is a micro penis. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Okay, then there's a quote I wanted to read also with regards to the whole scene where the teacher does nothing. I just want to read this quote. I don't know who said this. There are many people who said different variations of it, but I'm going to just read this one and not give credit to whoever said it because you can Google who said it. It wasn't me. The world is not dangerous because of those who do harm, but because of those who look at it without doing anything. I would like to edit that quote by saying the world is not only dangerous because of those who do harm, because clearly the world is dangerous because of those who do harm. You cannot not say that. That is a fact. What if the people who do bad things do them where no one can see? Then of course the world is dangerous because of those people that are doing bad things. But also, it's not only that, those who see it and don't say anything or do anything, because sometimes, let's be real, you can't always do something. But to some extent, you have to say something, you have to stand up for, I don't know. But if you see bad things happen and you say nothing, you do nothing, then in a way, aren't you partaking in the bad things happening? In a way. Not to the same extent. I don't believe in that shit about all sin are equal, but to some extent, you know, you're kind of like you're partaking in it, but guilty of it continuing, because it will continue. Okay, and I just think that people should more often, like bad shit's gonna happen, yes, but it will only be worse if you just resign. Oh, it's always gonna happen. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, yeah, if that's your attitude. So, you know, I feel like people should stand up more against the bad shit. So that's just something I want to say. Then with regards to the new guy, Junpei, please tell me I'm saying his name right. He is in the opening at the end when they're all sitting and talking. So I'm pretty sure he's being tempted by the bad side because clearly he's been abused. We saw when the evil thing, cursed person, took his fringe over, there was like burn marks here on his face, and we saw like someone with a cigarette kind of flashing through his mind. So clearly he was abused, and I feel like that's why he has a very you know, if you're raised like that, that's something that happens to you at a very small age, and you know, no one ever helps you through that, or that person never gets punished, and you have to live your whole life knowing that that person did that to you and nothing happened to them. And maybe a part of you is going to feel like angry at that person, but also guilty about it, because somehow kids that go through bad shit somehow end up blaming themselves. So like, imagine that kind of energy welling up in you, and with regards to the story in this world, where curses and things manifest because of those bad, the hate that festers inside of people. It does seem like, you know, that's the kind of, in a world where maybe he finds himself no, I'm not gonna step into this rabbit hole. Just clearly it's easier for him to be drawn in by the darkness because of him having a dark past. But hopefully, I believe, it seems from the opening that he will inevitably be saved, not physically but emotionally, by our good side. If we consider our side the good side, you know, Gojo and everyone there, hopefully he'll join our side. And the fact that he can see curses is a big thing, because that means that even that girl with the glasses that can't see curses is able to fight and become a jujutsu sorcerer, right? So I believe that this kid will also join the school, because he can already see curses and he's not even part of the world yet. But now, I mean, he is. But he's going to be drawn there, but okay. Then, with regards to Nanami, I love him. I said this in the episode during my reaction, but obviously you didn't, if you're watching this on YouTube, you didn't hear my thoughts on him. I think, what was I spoiling now? Oh. Yeah, Vert. There's a lot of vibes that I get here from other anime. Noragami, Demon Slayer, a little bit of Demon Slayer vibes. Not meaning it took influence from it or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's a shonen at the end of the day. All shonen kind of overlap here and there in terms of themes and tropes and stuff. So yeah, I did get with the visuals. I got a little bit of, and the visuals, I got a little bit of Demon Slayer vibes. The themes, I get a little bit of Noragami vibes. Not that I think Noragami is a shonen. Nox gets Bleach vibes, but I don't get Bleach vibes anymore. I did at the beginning a little bit, but not so much now. He's in there another time too, at least his silhouette, and we can see his shirt to know it's him. Oh, okay. I like the flipped Burke version. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Exactly. That's how evil wins, when good men do nothing. I like that quote better. No narrators through this ep, so Hunter x Hunter was left out in this episode. Has the show ever done narrator? Has it used a narrator before? I don't feel like it has. Maybe, probably. But I do like Nanami a lot. I like his kind of personality where it's about facts and logic. Anytime in life when someone is too much like that, if too many people are too much like that, you get a very unfeeling world and a very colorless world. So it's not like I want everyone to be exactly like that, but I do think it's very necessary to have people like that, and I do like people like that. I like characters like that. It used to assistant just once for them. So I really like Nanami's personality. He's not as hot as Gojo, but I have to say I really like his personality. That was the assistant, not a narrator. Oh, okay. It used assistant just once for when they read the cursed room report. Okay, so that was not the narrator, it wasn't the assistant reading the report. Similar to how maybe a narrator would do a voiceover, but it wasn't the narrator, it was an actual character in the show. Okay, and then I have a note here saying 1627. 1627, what is that? I think it's a quote. The relationship between the brain and cursed energy is still a black box to us. So that's very interesting, and I think it's very important. The relationship between the... I don't know why I'm writing it down here, because I'm not going to remember where I wrote it down. The relationship between the brain, but maybe it'll help me remember, and cursed energy is still... By a black box, does it mean unknown? Like it's still unknown to them? I think so far everyone explained their jujutsu style on their own. No need for a narrator. Yeah, I like how the show does that. Not only do they explain it, but they show us. Like in this episode, visually they show us. I like that. Soto says the new guy is my favorite on the show for now. A system or device whose inner workings are unknown. Okay, so it's about being unknown. And I hope that as the story continues that we'll find maybe the characters will become more enlightened as to the relationship between the brain and cursed energy. So maybe the show will create some theories about that. And then we'll be enlightened and we'll be able to make our own theories. I do not understand did you catch what Jogo, Hanami, Mahito, and the unnamed fourth curse are meant to represent? I feel like if I'm not meant to know it yet, then please don't tell me. Like, I don't really understand what you're... I didn't even know they were meant to represent anything, so... Okay, Michael says he posted the manga panel. So is it something that was very explicitly revealed in the anime? Or is it something that, okay, was said? Okay, so then I can take a look at the manga panel. Let's see here. There's a lot. Let's begin. I have four minutes. Bento box. So that she was eating while she was turned. So you can see now. Watch, hair, bento box. Yuck. Oh shit, I need to score still. Crap. Okay. My technique forcibly creates a weak point on my opponent. 7-2-3. When dividing the subject into tenths, if I'm able to strike that point, it's a critical hit. I'm able to inflict significant damage on stronger adversaries against an opponent with weak curse energy. I can cleave them. And so this was pretty clear. Yeah, this was pretty clear. I got that. Is it okay to reveal all that? There is merit to revealing one's hand and the rules it initiates. There are techniques that aren't affected if revealed to certain enemies. There's also the strategy of misleading by revealing. You can make your technique even more effective like so. Okay. This was really good in the oh, it's showing them in the background. Revealing one's hand, the rules initiate, you can make your technique even more effective. So that's what Gojo did before. Okay. Okay, Schwack. This looked pretty cool in the anime with her running towards him. Cool and creepy. And then talking with you is so easy, really. The earth, the forest, the sea. People have always feared them. The cursed energy directed at them was so massive that before they could take form, they gained consciousness and remained hiding. Okay, so earth, forest, and sea, these people represent those things. So that's probably the forest, that's the sea. And this is then the earth. The manga did Nanamin have the same ugly tie? I don't know. Maybe it was the color that made it ugly. I don't know. So earth, forest, sea. People have always feared them. The cursed energy directed at them was so massive that before they could take form, they gained consciousness and remained in hiding. I really like the earth, the forest design. Kaneki, I feel like he said basically explaining your technique can make it stronger, but not necessarily. It's a technique that you can use to explain what you're going to do, and then that could make it stronger, but that's not necessarily. That's how I understood it. Yes, they're the collective embodiment of the fear humans have towards those forces, and that's so interesting to me. Aha, yes. So the earth, the forest, and the sea isn't inherently cursed or anything. It's just that people fear those things. People often, like, I fear the ocean. I'm scared of all the shit down there and drowning and all that stuff. So people's collective fear manifested these curses. And because so many people fear the ocean and the forest and the sea, the earth, the forest, and the sea, they're very powerful curses. But yeah, so probably even if they're defeated, it might happen again anyway, because people will continue to fear it. Okay, now I just quickly need to score. I have literally less than 2 minutes. Bleh. Ooh, fuck. Bleh. Episode 9. Let's see here. I'll be quick. I really like the story. I would give it for this episode, story. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit lenient, but 9. Characters, great character, new character introduction, but 8.8, not a 9 yet, but so close. Visuals, very, very cool visuals. 8.8. It probably would be a 9 in another anime, but you know, I'm holding Jujutsu Kaisen to its own standard here, you know? Like, it created the big standard with certain episodes, so now it has to, you know, overdo even itself. Okay. Audio, I think the audio was great. Voice acting, I really enjoyed that one guy's voice actor. 40 seconds! Audio, I give it a 8.9. Basically a 9, but just, I'm gonna give it a 9. Okay, enjoyment, I give it a 9. And overall, that gives it an 8.9 for the episode. Thank you guys for watching with me. I will see you again next time on Saturday for the next episode. Thank you guys for reading with me. Reading my notes is probably unnecessary about Nanami's powers. Yeah, I think I understand it. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you enjoyed watching with me. For those of you that could, I'll see you next time.